Alright guys, how are you? I hope you are all fine. Today we are gonna make an educational tutorial and we are going to talk generally about React hooks. So what is React hooks? So React hooks, guys, is the future of React. I know that this tutorial is a little bit late. I have already created some projects with React functional and class-based components, but it's not bad showing some fundamentals. Okay, in reality, guys, personally I believe that you are going to learn only from projects, but also fundamentals are important. So let's talk about React hooks. What is this amazing hooks? So React hooks, guys, are JavaScript functions in reality, and of course is the future of React. It allows us to have access in React state. In the past, the only way to pass state initially was with class-based components, and we had to initiate a state and then to use the set state in order to bring state. Okay. So, as the creator of React.js said, React was always here inside the atom and was spinning, and they were telling to them, hey guys, I'm here, just find me, discover me. And finally, the engineers of React discovered this amazing hook, the React hooks, which are amazingly powerful. So guys, in the past, as I told you, we had only the way of passing state with the class-based component, but right now we use hooks for this job. Okay. So let's make a general about the initial introduction. So look here, guys. As I told you previously, in the past we had the state, okay, or we could pass the state inside the constructor, but the state was much more elegant. So we had here a value of counter, and then we created a function, okay. And inside this function, we had a method with this .setState in order to change the initial value. Okay. We pass then the value again. Okay. And we take the previous value and we count it plus 1. Okay. And this is the way that set state works, and generally change re-render reacts, and it brings the updated value. Okay, I don't want to speak right now about hooks. It is going to be in another tutorial. So that was the tutorial, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe and of course push the like button. So have a nice day, guys. What's going on, everybody? I hope you are all fine. Today we are gonna create this functionality, okay? We are gonna count, okay? We are gonna push here the plus, and we change the state, right? Also we can put the minus, okay? Something like this. But before going and converting the class-based component to hooks functional functions, first of all, I just want to make an introduction. Okay, we were, let me see, okay, let's make an introduction about React hooks. So guys, as we can see, the way to pass a state with React hooks is to import the use state okay, in React, and then to pass a pair of array, which is the initial state here, and then this is the updated state. It's a state that we want to update. In reality, it's a function here, guys, that we are gonna use it in order to change the initial state. This initial state is this state that we are gonna put here, okay, this value that we are gonna put here, for example. So as we told, useState returns a pair, okay, of values, the current state and the state that we want to update. Okay, guys, I believe that this makes sense to you. Okay, so in order to change the state here, we can create a function, okay, and we can call this function letter in a button, for example, and here we can pass inside the set count, okay, set count, and we want the count plus 1. The set count plays the rule, if you remember, in class-based component, we had the set state, plays the rule of set state in reality, okay, this value, the second value, plays the rule of set state, right? Okay, React hooks, guys, have two important rules, okay? We can call hooks only at the top level and not inside loops or conditions, and also we can call hooks only from functional components and not from regular function or from class-based components, okay? Now let's talk about the useState. With hooks we can use state without the need of class components. This is very powerful. useState is a hook that let us add the React state to function components, to functional component I mean here. So inside the useState hook we put the initial state. So useState returns a pair value as I explained you previously. For example, the count and set count, and here is the useState hook, and here the initial state that we pass, right? Okay, that was the introduction. Let's go move and make right now, put all these things in action, right? Okay, I'm just gonna close it. So here we got, guys, what we got? We got a very simple project. I couldn't say that is a project. A very simple example is much better. So we got the class-based component. I just named it class-based. Please don't go and try and write it. Don't write it. We are gonna delete it. Or if you want, you can just keep it. This is the first way, I could say the old way, or in order to be much more precise, I don't like the word old way. It's another way. This is better. It's a class-based way. Okay, we can see the class-based way here. We got a state, okay, the initial state. We put then inside the function, as I told you, and here we call the set state for up, for down, okay, and then we call these functions here in each button. Let's open npm start. This is the way with the class-based components, and if you will see here right now, okay, I'm gonna count. Yes, I'm counting up, down, down, up. Yes, now we are going to try and convert the old way in newest way. The only thing, so go here, guys, and just write this CSS. I didn't want to write it because our purpose is not to deal with CSS right now, okay? Just write it for a while. Just stop it, okay? Okay, just gonna close it right now. Also, I'm just gonna copy only this, control copy. And right now, let's go and create, we are inside the source, okay? Let's create a func way, okay? Functional way, I mean, .js. Yeah. Press RAFCA, which means React arrow functional, okay? Now, paste this right now. Okay, we don't have warnings because we don't import React. If we try and import class way from class way. Okay, and now we are going to have some warnings. Yeah. I don't need the what I'm doing, no class way, func way, func from, okay, come on, where is the func way? Okay, I don't need the class way, I'm just gonna remove it from here, also by. If you want, you can just keep it, or you can just training. I suppose it's very simple. Yes. Let's go and put the func. Also, we need func way here. Yes. Func way. Okay, now it's not. It's okay. Of course, we got some errors. Yeah. Let's gonna close it. Go here in func ways. Yeah, we don't have this thing right now. Let's just, in order not to delete this, just write it, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna create only. We don't need this. Also, we don't need this. Okay, I'm gonna const handle and change up equal. Okay, I'm just gonna copy it down equal. Let's initiate it, define it, const, gonna define it. Let me see. Okay, another error, maybe this. Okay, I'm gonna delete. Bye. Let's put here the 0. Right, we got it. I'm not going to deal right now with this. Okay, just write this, guys. Now, how we want to work here? Okay, a mistake that I did. I'm going to put it inside the funcs components. Cut it. Paste it. Alright. Now, guys, we want to bring. We don't have right now class-based components. So in order to bring a state, we need a const to initiate the count set count. Okay, you can put, for example, here a name or something else, blah blah, but it's good following some rules in order not to get confused later. So set count. Okay, of course we need the use state. I explain you with this, and go choose these things. If you choose this here, it's gonna appear directly here automatically. Okay, look, we got it here right now, right? Otherwise you can just go and write it here manually. Okay, something like this. If you don't see, use state, something like this. Okay, let's go right now and create the functionality. Here we will make an initial. I'm gonna put the 0. You can just put for example blah blah blah, something, whatever, but we're going to make a counter right now, so 0, right? Right now you can go and put it directly, the count here. Where is, okay, I'm just gonna remove this and write set count directly, the count plus 1. Okay, and look right now what is going to happen. Of course nothing. Let me see why. Set count, let me see why. Why? Yes guys, what I'm doing, because we have to put here the count. Sometimes we get confused with simple things. Okay, right now let's see. Okay, we got 3. If I reload, okay, 3. Okay, we just count right now. Right, set count, it updates, plays the rule of use of set state, and in reality updates the previous state, and we put the new state. I don't like this way, guys, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna delete it. I want to make it much more elegant, and don't put it directly under change up. I'm just gonna put here inside the set count, right, and count plus 1. This way is much more elegant to my mind. Okay, everyone has different opinion. This is my opinion, my personal, and we just call it let me see why set count handle change. Oh no, here we need to put this. Okay, now it's okay. Let's see. Right, we are gonna make the same thing about I'm gonna put minus here. Right, let's see what happens right now, guys. I'm just gonna reload and look, and we see the functionality. Okay, the functional components are much more elegant and much more powerful in contrast with class-based component. Doesn't mean that React developers and generally creators are going to destroy the class-based components. It will exist, but remember, functional components are much more powerful, and this is the reason that you should choose functional components. So if you know both ways, it's better for you. Okay, I believe that was the tutorial. I don't think that we have something else here. This was a very simple tutorial about use state. I made an explanation with some diagrams, and now I put the diagrams here in action. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you are all fine. It's time dealing with use effect and generally talking about use effect and what this thing is. So guys, use effect is a hook which let us create side effects in functional components. Okay, it's the same like component did mount, component did update, and component will unmount. I didn't write will unmount here. So we usually use use effect when we fetch data from API or when we change the DOM manually. Okay. With use effect, we tell React that components need to do something after the first render. Okay, we need to update, for example, or to fetch data, as I write, from API. So by default, use effect runs over and over after the first render. So generally it creates an infinite loop by default if you don't put the array. So let's move and talk about this hook, the use effect. So this is a function and this is a dependency. Here you can just let it empty. It means that use effect, it will render only once. If you don't have this thing, you will see an infinite loop. Okay, right. Use effect. Let's say a couple of things. Use effect is a hook which creates side effects. Okay, what we mean with this? We mean that we fetch data from API, we are reading from local storage, and we activate or deactivate event listeners, and generally the DOM. So, effect runs always after React rendering. Right, let's move. So this thing is a callback function that contains the side effect. Okay, here in this thing, here inside the curly brackets, we have the side effects. We have generally that the things that we want to change or implement. Right? Now, this is a dependency array which executes the callback. Okay, here it will execute once because we have the curly, we got the array empty here. Right, let's move. So, when we don't have the array, this is here, when here we don't have the array, it means that use effect will run after rendering always and always. It will create generally an infinite loop. So, use effect. Now we can use effect when we put here props or state. What does it mean? It means that use effect is going to render the first time and then only if the word props or the state is gonna change. So generally it's gonna watch for changes here if we put a state or props. And also keep in mind something, it is very important. It will work as component did update, as component did update. Now here use effect, it plays a rule. As I told you, use effect generally plays some rules. Okay, in order to be precise, it plays a rule of component did mount. You remember the class-based component of component did mount, component did update, and component did unmount. So here, if we have props or state, it plays the rule of component did update because it's watching the state or props. Now works like component did mount because it's gonna render only the first time. For example, we have a state with an empty array and then a set state in which we want to bring data from an API, for example. So it's gonna render only the first time. For this reason, we keep this empty. When we take data from server, the first time React renders and then updates and bring the data. Now guys, in this diagram you can see that now works like component did update, as I previously told you. So when we take data from server, the first time React renders and then it's watching the state or props. Okay, here is the state or the props. Okay, here we got something here, we got a timer with the set timeout, and we got inside a hook function set date, which is gonna break the new date, right? Every 1 second. Then we have to clear this timeout, guys, and then to return the clear timeout. The reason, because if we are not going to clear it, it's gonna happen a memory leak. Okay, so we mainly use component. Now plays the rule, because we clear this thing, it plays the rule of component will unmount. Okay, we unmount this thing. We mainly use component will unmount when we want to clear or remove something from DOM. If we don't remove the set data, for example, set data, okay, we don't remove the timer in reality, the outcome will be memory leak, which will freeze the app, right? Okay, this was about was an introduction about use effect, guys. The next tutorial will be an example about use effect and about all these things generally we talked. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, guys. If you like it, just press the like, and of course, if you are not subscribed, subscribe to the channel for more and cool videos. So that was, guys. Have a nice day. Alright, guys, we were in the previous project. Okay, I'm just gonna delete all these things right now. Okay, bye bye. Okay, I just gonna, let's say, h1, h3 users. H4, let's say h4. Okay. Let's right now go here. What I want to do, guys, I'm just gonna go here and just write place holder JSON place holder, and of course let's write users. Okay, what I'm gonna do right now, go here. Okay, we got some users, right? What I'm gonna do, I want to take this, to bring these users here. Okay, all right, we want right now, guys, to bring use effect. Okay, we want the pattern function, the callback, and then let's go. Okay, we don't have use effect here. You can manually put here use effect, or you can just look here. You can delete this and then put tab again and choose this, and look, automatically it goes here, right? Cool. After this, I forgot to clear. Let's go and take npm install Axios in order to make requests. Okay, we just wait for a while. Alright, it was added. After this, npm start again. Nice. And then we have to import Axios to bring this module from Axios. What I'm doing, I just want to bring it. Okay, we got Axios now. Now, guys, let's go and just make a request here. I'm gonna create a function and call it fetch const fetch data equal with. Okay, we can't create. I want to use the async await. Okay, but I can't use here async. Okay, because it's not allowed. This is a callback function of use effect. It's not suitable to create it here, to put it here, right? So I'm gonna put it here, async. I'm gonna create a res equal with await access.get. Okay, we want to take data. For this reason, let's put this template strings. Okay, I'm just gonna copy all these things, control copy this address, right? Paste it here. And then we have to bring all this data somewhere. Okay, right now we don't bring this data. Okay, let me see. Res is not defined. Okay, we have to define it, const, right? Okay, I'm just gonna open inspect element, right? We don't have nothing right now. Let's call fetch data. What I'm doing, right? And right now, let's make a log, a console log, in order to see the res. Okay, look here, we got it. We got all the object, but we want the data. Okay, let's put data. And let's see what we got here, guys. Okay, what we did here. The first time React is gonna render, now React is gonna render every time it's gonna create an infinite loop, guys. Look, it creates an infinite loop over and over and over, generally. Because we haven't put it here, the array, it's gonna render only one. It's gonna update only one. Okay, we got the array, fetch data. Okay, let's take the, I'm gonna see the data. Let's take what? Data dot name. I'm gonna take the name dot name. Okay, and we take yes, because we have to loop. We got an array, and here we got objects. So we go to loop in order to take the name. For this reason, we see the undefined. Okay, let's go. We want to bring the data somewhere, right? Let's create a const let's tell incoming. So I'm gonna just put incoming, set incoming, what I'm writing, right, equal with, we want the use state right now. Okay, we want an empty array as initial state. Okay, let's call it also here the, okay, we got use state, we have at first sight an empty array, and then now we don't need the console log, or you just write, we want to update the new data, set where is set in what happened? Okay, set incoming okay, what happened? Let me see, set incoming is not defined. Okay, because I haven't put a tab here. Okay, now I'm just gonna put here the res.data as initial state. Okay, let me see, let's go here and right now I'm gonna put here users, and in h4 I'm gonna put cat. Okay, I'm just gonna map here, guys, incoming dot map. Okay, we want, let's put and what we need right now. Let me see what happened. Something with the div. expected. Okay, what did I do wrong? Can understand here. Let's do it for it. Incoming dot map, right? We need the item. Let's put h4, and then we need to put here the we need the item dot item dot name, right? Let's see. And we got all the names. Okay, let's make it a little bit. Let's delete all the where is the app CSS, all these things. Okay, we got all the names right now. Each child in a list, yes, of course. Here we have to put the key equal with item.id. Let me see if it is correct. Wait. Let me see again the data here. Okay, it has ID, not a dash. Let's see right now. Okay, we don't have any warnings. Okay, it seems okay. We got the data that we want. Okay, now if we want, we can also bring, let's bring, what else? Let's bring the ID. Okay, the ID. Item.name. Let's say also, guys, okay, we got an ID. Okay, was the simple tutorial, guys, about breaking data with use effect. I hope you enjoyed it. So, see you in the next tutorial. Alright guys, now it's time to make an example about the memory leak. This is very important thing. Memory leak can destroy your application and you will find it many times. Okay, here we are gonna learn how to create a memory leak and how to disable this. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I haven't found a tutorial like this. If you search on YouTube, for example, you will not find something like this. I'm 100% sure. Or you will not find something precise like this. Okay, maybe one or two people can have this. And the main thing, guys, is to understand it well, okay? And not to have many people have only the return function, and they explain you that okay, this prevent you from memory leaks, but they don't explain you or they don't create memory leaks in a simple way in order to understand it. Okay, so for example, we got here a set timeout. Keep in mind that mainly with set timeout set interval, you will have problems if you will not unmount the set timeout, for example, or a Axios request, fetch request. Okay, this comes mainly when you try to send data somewhere, and before the data goes and come again, you press a button, and then you put this data in an unmount component. This is a problem. It's like the data are saved on air. So if we press the button before the data comes, okay, or mount to component, then we have memory leak. It's like data is stored on the air, are unmounted. Okay. For example, this set timeout is counting. Okay, when the page renders the first time, okay, we wait in 3 minutes, after 3 seconds, this data to come, okay, because it's running. Before this running set timeout, if I press this, then I have memory leak, because after the running, for example, we are going to move somewhere else, let's say in another component, and after the 3 seconds is going to be in an unmount component, and this causes memory leaks. I'm gonna explain it right now in order to understand it better. Okay, I'm gonna close it. Okay, let's remove everything. Right now I'm just gonna write this. Of course, npm, wow, not clear, npm start. Okay, now I'm waiting the page to run, and now we are going to work here in order to understand. I could have it ready here and you could just see it, but believe me guys, it's not gonna work. You have to work it, you have to do it with me in order to understand it. It's different looking something and different implement this something. We don't need only theory, we don't need the actions. Now we are gonna create it. So let's import, guys, a couple of things. We need here const, let's call it activate set activate equal with use state. If you would press this directly here, it's gonna create. Look, we don't need to write it manually right now. Okay, let's put true. Right, I'm gonna explain you what we are gonna create. Let's also create a button, right? Let's call it activate. Okay, activate, or you know guys, sorry, navigate is much better. Navigate. Cool. Right now let's create another component here, or 2 components. The first one is gonna be leak.js. Oh, what happened? I've got it. I'm gonna delete it and I'm gonna create it. Or guys, just create a component. Create the component and name it leak.js. Okay, right. Let's import right now here in React, import leak from here, from leak. Okay, after this, let's create another one, another .js. Okay, this is another component. Let's write h1 another, right? After this, let's go and import the another. Import from let me see, yes, we imported it. Right now, what I want to do, I'm going here below and just I'm gonna create, activate an itinerary here. I'm gonna put here the link, okay, and then the another, okay. Now I can see the link, okay. If it is true, I want to see the link, okay. If it is false, I want to see the other. Okay, I can see both right now. Now I want to work with the another, okay, with the link. Let's work with link right now. Okay. Something else, guys, or you know, okay, I'm gonna create it later. Let's also import const text set text, okay, and we need the use date here, okay. I'm just gonna put an array here. Also, let's create a const set. I'm going to make two examples in order to understand it well. Two simple examples. Use date. Come on. Okay, let's put an empty string. After this, we want to call use effect. Use effect. Right. Okay, we got it right now. And after this, inside in use effect, let's go and I want to deal with console, okay, .log, okay. I'm gonna put, let's write fetching data, right? And let's call the set timeout, alright. Yes, a certain function, and so I'm gonna put here 3 seconds in order not to hurry up. Here I'm gonna put what I'm doing, log, okay. Let's take console log, and here let's put loading data, right? Then we need the set time, okay. To put in the set time, let's for example put data came, yes. Of course, we got to put here the let's put an h1, and here we need to put the set. Okay, the initial. Look right now. Okay, I'm going to explain it right now, how things work. So guys, right now we got a set timeout here, okay? Look what happens. And we got this, of course, something very important. We got to put here this in order to render only once, in order not to create an infinite loop. Right? Look, the first time low data are loading, okay, as you can see, and then data are coming, okay, after 3 seconds. Look again. After 3 seconds you are going to see loading data. Alright. I'm gonna do, let's make cut. Okay. Look, the first time, in the first render, guys, you are going to see, let me see. Okay, you saw the fetch data. If you see at first time the fetch data, okay, and then you see the loading data, okay. Look, now before the time, if you press this, let me see. Nothing happens. Why? Let me see. I can see the memory leak before the time. I press it. Let me see. Go to app. Yes, before, because I haven't put the activation on click equal with. Let me see. I'm gonna put the set activate. We want to be opposite from set. Let's see. We got the from my activate, and of course here a pattern function. Okay, right now when what I want to do, I want to press the button and go somewhere to put this state opposite. Okay, it's gonna be false if I press opposite. And to move somewhere else. Okay, here I'm gonna move somewhere else. Let's try right now. And look here, you can see now the memory leak. Warning, can perform React state update on unknown components. Let's increase it. This is a node, but it is memory leak in your application. To fix, cancel all subscription and asynchronous tasks, all these things, guys. Okay, why these things happens? Now you will understand why this happens. Look here. Before, if I press the button before the time of 3 seconds, okay, when I do this, okay, React renders the first time, okay, and starting counting, okay, directly. Starting counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for example, we have 3 seconds here. And starts counting. Before finish, if I push this, before finish the counting of 3, it's gonna happen a memory leak. So, now, look now. If I wait until the 3 seconds expires and press now, we don't have this problem. Look, we don't have this problem because the data already come. Did you understand what happened? It's exactly, guys, with the data that comes from database, for example, with Axios request or with fetch request. If the data are, for example, always data are 1 or 2 seconds late, if before these 2 seconds that data comes, you press a button, then you have a memory leak because data goes in an unmount component. Okay, it's like they are on air. Let me see what I have to do right now. Okay, look, I'm here pressing right now, creating memory link. Okay, I'm here, I'm waiting first for data. Now if I press, I don't have memory leak. Okay, how I can solve this problem? Okay, I'm just gonna return. I have the ability to return something. Okay, I'm gonna do const data. Let's put timer equal with. Okay, and then we want to return what happened? What I'm doing. Return. Okay, and I want here to put the clear timeout. Let's put timer. Okay. We have to put here a const timer equal with. Let's put okay, we want to return a self-invoked function, clear timeout. We go to put here the timer. Okay, and look right now, guys, what is gonna happen. Okay, if I press right now before the time, look, I don't have anymore the memory leak because I return the clearing. Okay, look, I'm pressing before the time of 3 seconds and I don't have, I'm moving in another component and I don't have the memory leak. Okay, look, if I wait, okay, coming, also moving, we are okay. That was the tutorial. I'm gonna disable it, right? Go here, disable the H1, we don't need it. Npm, what I'm doing, Npm Install Axios. Okay, we want to install Axios in order to make a request. Okay, it's a little bit long, this tutorial, but it's the best way to understand because I show to you 2 important ways to understand it. But with Axios request, you need to do something a little bit different. Okay, let's go. Import Axios from Axios. Okay, nice. go here. We want to make a request right now. I'm going to JSON placeholder and users. Okay, let's go users. Okay, here I'm just gonna take this address and go here, and just we need let's wait, we got Axios. Okay, fetch data equal, okay, let's make an async here. We want rs equal with await. Let's put here the axios.get. We want to get what we want to get. We want to get this, right? Let's put here the, okay, set text. I'm gonna put here the res.data. Okay, let's see first of all if this data comes. Okay, log res.data, right? I'm gonna reload. What I'm doing, I have to npm start. I have to start the server. Just gonna wait. Okay, this data is not defined. Yes, because I haven't defined it. Const fetch data, and of course I forgot to put here inside the to call the fetch data. Okay, let's call it. Let's see right now. Res is not defined. Of course, again the same thing. Const. Okay, let's inspect element, and we got the data here. Okay, let's bring this data right now. I'm gonna bring only the name. Go here and just write, we are gonna map. Okay, so text dot map, let's put item, and I'm gonna put a div, okay, or an h1, right? And let's put here the item dot name, as I told you earlier. And let me reload, and I can see the data. Why? Item dot name. Let me see. Text, set text. Okay. Text dot map item dot name. Maybe does not exist the name. Okay, it's username. User. Let me see. Where is the problem? It's data. No, here is the problem. No set time, set text. Okay, we got the username of data right now. Check the render method of each idle. Yes, we got to give a unique. Okay, I'm gonna put a key equal with item.id, and okay, I believe. Okay, we don't have any errors. Okay, this is some set assigned. No, it's not error this. Alright, let's right now we got the data. I'm gonna create again the memory leak, but now guys, you have to be in a hurry because data comes very quickly. Okay, look, comes quickly. I haven't read it. Okay, can perform update. Yes, memory leak. We created memory leak. We did exactly the same thing like with set timeout. Okay, look, if I'm waiting, the data came. Okay, right now I can navigate and I don't have problem. If before came the data, press this button, look, data goes in an unknown component, then this happens. How we can prevent these things? We can create here a let mount equal true. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Okay, I'm going here. I'm gonna do this cut. If mount, if it's true, we want this to happen. Now, go here and just write return after coming all this data what we want. We want to make mount equal false. Alright, or you know guys, maybe create it, make it much more better. Okay, mount, I'm gonna create here a const mount set mount. Okay, after this create a use state. Okay, let's put a true, right? And if mount, we want to come the data true, right? Return, we want to return the set mount is gonna be, we need to put it, of course, false, guys. And here is gonna watch the use effect for mount every time. Okay, let's see. All right, we got it. Let's see. Okay, if I press right now before the data, let's see. Look, I'm moving in another component that I can't see anymore the error. Right? Look. Boom. In another, and I can't see the error. Okay? Before data comes. This is the way to clear the problem. Okay? I told you two ways. Okay? When you have timers, you have to, I told you what to do. And when you have Axios request, I told you again what to do, guys. Right? So, that was the... Alright guys, how are you? I hope you are all fine. So, today we are going to deal with input forms in React hooks. Open your VS Code Okay, don't write anything. Control A. Okay, let's start dealing, and okay, let's see. Control clear. I'm gonna start npm start. I want to start the server. Of course, here I need to import come on, dot c dot app css. Okay, we got it. Let's see. All right. Right now, just go here and create a class name of app. After this, we need to make a label. Let's write name. We need the name, of course, an input. Let's import a placeholder, and we are going to put here just your name. Alright, after this, copy this. Okay, control copy. Let's put the last name. Okay, write last name also here, and the placeholder your last, come on, your last name. Alright, I will just put also here a button. Let's put a type of submit. Yes, and let's write the word add. Of course, something that I forgot, just cut all these things, and we want to import here the form. No, from form. We don't need the action. I've already had the CSS. Okay, I'm gonna close and create it with you later. So just import it like this. Alright, after this, let's go and very quickly implement the CSS. We are gonna create some simple things. We want to prevent what happened here right now. Oh, damn it. What was that? I have to take another mouse. This mouse is not very functional. So let's just put an asterisk here. We want to prevent the default margin. So put it 0. Also the padding, we need 0, and the box sizing. Box sizing, we need border box. Alright, come on, just reload it. After this, let's go and dot up. Let's put a mean height of 90 VH. We need a display of flex. We want these items to be on the sender, and the justify content of sender. Come on. Alright, go to form and just put a display of flex. Then we need, let's make a flex direction column is gonna put, come on, in this way, all this item. Let's make an initial width of 300 pixels. Moreover, we need a border of 1 pixel solid. Let's put it gray right now. Come on, reload. What happened? Gray. Right. After this, let's put a padding of 10 pixels. Also, a background of RGB okay. Then after this, go to input and put a padding of 5 pixels and a margin button of 10 pixels. We want to deal with button. Let's just make a margin of bottom 20 pixels. Okay. After this, let's put or margin top. Come on, right? Also a padding of 5 pixels. It's not bad. Let's see. Okay, it seems better. Also, okay, I don't want to deal with this right now. I'm just gonna leave it as it is, guys. Let's go in app CSS and work around with these functionalities right now. So go here. We want to import here. When I'm just gonna create something like a to-do list in order to understand how input works on React hooks. It's exactly the same thing like in class-based components, but so you don't have to make a lot of different things. So const, we are gonna initiate, put values here, set name. Okay, we want to import the use state hook. Let's by default put an empty string, and of course we have to define it. Either write it here manually, or you can just do this simple thing. Delete it, put the E, and just choose this, and boom. Do the same thing about the set, about the last name. Let's write last name, set last. Okay, let's just put this with small. Last name set, okay, and here set. Alright, nice. Right now, let's also inspect element. Alright, go to console. We need to create a handle change when we want to write a control here. When we write here, we want to appear here, and then when we submit it, we want the two inputs, the name and last name, to appear here. So let's write const, let's say handle name. Okay, we create a fat arrow function. We want the target because we are going to target an event. So now set name is gonna be e.target.name. Okay, and if you write here log, let's say name, let's also go in this input okay, we need to put the value here, which is the name, and we need the on change equal with handle name. Okay, the on change, what is doing when we are going to write something here, this is gonna appear. Let's see, blah 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 blah, for example. It is control, there is a mistake, value name on change handle name. Let's see, where did I put value name? Name, set name, e.target, you can understand right now. Let's see what happened. We can see a change here. E.target. We need to put here value. Yes, I forgot. We want to target this value. Okay, let's see. Okay, as we can see, we target this value. Okay, why don't we do the same thing about handle last name? Okay, set last name, and we need to see the last name here. Okay, let's reload. Of course, we have to, where is the, we have to input the data here. The value is gonna be the last name, and of course we need the on change equal to handle last name, handle last name. Alright, let's see what happened. If I write something, I can see it. Last name, also I can see the last name. Right. Let's create another hook here, const person, let's say identity, or user, guys, user, set user equal with useState. Okay, we need an empty array because I want to put these two users inside here. So right now let's create a handle const handle submit equal with. So we want to put the event because when I push here, I don't want to pay the page to reload. Now it reloads because we have a form. So e.prevent default, and what this does, it prevents the initial reloading. Let's see. Of course we have to call the handle submit. Let's put a log first of all in order to see that it works. Yes, works. Go inside button here and put on click equal with handle submit. Alright, come on. Okay, if I push, look what is gonna happen. First of all, we can see the reloading, and then we see that it works. Okay. After this, let's go and create the functionality. We want to put in set user what? But before putting it, let's create it first of all. We need to create a let identity equal with an object, and here I just want to put the name, and here I want the last name. Of course we need a comma here, and because these are the same, I'm gonna destructure. So because these are the same, I don't need to put this 2 times. Just put the name, or if you want, just leave it as it is. Then if I go and write log identity, let me see, blah 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 blah, we see an object here. Look, is what we wrote right now. We need to put this object inside the array. Let me see. So we need here to put right now all the previous state of user, and of course the identity. And if now I'm going to map, let me see, if I'm going here, user.map, I'm gonna put item, or this, and I can just put a div, right, and h1 I need to put here the item dot name, last name. And look what is gonna happen. If I press, I just have this item here. If I press again, I have it again. But when I push the button, I want this to disappear and to come again in the initial state. So after set user, go and put set name is gonna be empty, and set last name we want to be empty again. Right, if I push, look, boom. Also, let's write od call, boom. Warning each child, because we have, it's necessary to have an initial ID. So we can just put here an index and then put the key of index here, and every time we have an initial ID. Okay, let's reload. If I write Nick Carter, let's see, we got Nick Carter, and we don't see right now the warning about the key. It's not the best option. The best option is to put, let me see, to put user. You can put here an ID of, let's say, 1. Let's see, but every time we have to create a new ID. It's not a good option. I'm gonna show you in another tutorial. So right now we don't have the ID, so it's not a good option. This, you have to work like this with the index as I created it. So this is how input works. Next time I'm gonna talk about the multiply inputs and you are going to understand it better. So let's write Nick Jones, let's say. Blah 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 blah, and so on. So that was, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Alright, guys. We did previously, in the previous tutorial, this project, small tutorial project. The only drawback, it's full functional, but the only drawback is that we have every time to put manually another and another. For example, if I have, if I want to put another input here, I have to do email, for example, email, or set email. Alright, it's not bad, it's an option, okay? Someone could do this approach, but there is an easier approach. Let's try and implement the easier approach, which is much more dynamic. I'm just gonna leave the user and I will put here a const identity. Let's put set identity is gonna be equal with use state. Nice. And of course we need oh, not an empty, we need to put an object. Let's put all these tags. We need the name, okay. Let's put also the last name. It's gonna be an empty string, right? Also the email, we want to put an extra input, or you can put more inputs if you want, right? We got this right now, identity. I'm just gonna keep close this. Okay, I don't need this. Okay, I will just keep only the handle submit. All right. and going here, I'm just going, okay, bye bye, bye bye. Also, let's copy this, control copy, damn it, come on. Let's import this here. We are gonna put email, just write email. We need another label with another input. Okay, here we need to write email. Let's see. Okay, we don't have errors. We got an extra input. You can put another input if you want. Okay, I don't want to deal with this right now. I'm just gonna disable. All right, let's go. And dealing with, I'm just gonna name it handle inputs, let's say. Where is, okay, okay. Let's put in inputs here, we need the name, which is here, the name. What's the name? The name is name. We need the name. Also, just copy this. We need the last name, so put last name. Also copy and put it. We need the email. All right. Also here we need a value. The value is gonna be the initial state, which is here identity, because we have an object here, look, identity.name, in order to have access. Okay, so value is gonna be identity.name. Let's copy this, do the same thing for this, identity.last name, and of course identity.email. Let's put the, let me see, handle inputs. We need to put the handle inputs here. We need the on change is gonna be handle inputs. Just copy this 2 more times. We are gonna use it for the last name and for the email. Handle submit, let's see. Okay, we got handle submit. Non click, don't touch anything right now. Let's deal with the handle inputs. So if you do const, or let me go directly. I'm gonna put, so set identity, we want to bring the new state, is gonna be, we need all the previous identity. Let me see, 1, 2, 3. And also we need to bring what, guys? We need the e.target. We put this dynamically dot name, which is, we want to bring also the e.target to watch the value. All right. And right now, if I put the log, it's gonna be, let me see, e.target name, for example. Let's see. Okay, it's watching every time the name. Identity dot name. Let's see right now. I'm gonna see some changes here. Look, every time is watching the A. Okay, the button that I'm pressing here in inputs. We are gonna do the same things happen for let me see, for identity dot last name and identity dot email. If I use console log and watch what's gonna happen. So after this, let's go and deal right now. So if you are wondering how this happened, we use dynamic object properties, guys, for these things. So const, look, name equal with e.target, we want the name. Okay, also const value equal with e.target value. And here, if we want, we can just let the name and value. It's exactly the same thing. Let me see right now. Go here, guys. And right now we need to bring, let me see, const, let's create a new identity equal with, okay, let's create an object and put all right, and here, guys, we can just put the, we need all the previous person, all the previous situation, and of course let's create an ID with new date. I'm gonna choose the new date, dot get, let's say time. All right, let's put it to string. All right, we just create an ID specific here. You can use also UUID. After this, right now we want inset user to put what? To put all the people, all the new. We want all the user, yes, all the previous state of user. Let me see. Dot, and also we need the new identity. New ID, what I'm doing, identity. All right, that was. And if we go right now, let me see. And just write, look, for example, blah, 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 blah. Let me see. Because here, guys, I disable it. let's enable this right now. We don't need the index anymore. I'm just gonna put here item.id. Also, let's put item, come on, item.last name, and let's see what happened right now. If I try, let's say Sarah, Nick, Sarah, let me see, email, dot email, of course. It's not this a problem. Let me see. We got 4 button. We don't need this here because we need to put the on click on submit. It's gonna be handle submit. And let's see right now what happened. Okay, Sarah, Nix, let's say Sarah, .com. Let's see, Gmail. Let me see why this happened. Okay, we got on submit handle submit. Yes, because we don't call the e.prevent default in order to prevent the default functionality of reloading. Okay, let's write now try blah 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 blah. Okay, let's say Sarah, and nothing happens. Very interesting. Let me see. Because here we need to have the let me see why I wrote this. We need identity. Yes, identity. Sorry about this, guys. Sometimes okay. Okay, and here we are. And here we are. Also, you can write something else. When we push the button, we want this to clear. Let's clear this right now. So we need generally set identity to be let's see, right, let's see, SSS s gmail.com, boom, boom. Okay, also if it is empty, let's do something else. copy all this. So if not, let's say person, and what I'm doing, if not identity dot name or not identity dot last name or identity dot email, what we want. We want to bring how happened this? We want to bring alert. Let's say please complete all fields. Okay. Else. Let's put an else, and we need all these tabs, right? So let's get started. So if I press right now add, look, please complete all fields. If I press again, please complete all fields. Let's write Nick Adams Nick Mail.com. If I press enter, look, let me see. We need to put this here. Okay, if I press, look, we got it. If I press right now, look, please complete all fields. If I write Sarah, and here Jones, let's say Sarah.com. If I press add, look, we got Sarah, and so on. This is a way how we can work with multiply inputs, guys. Okay. I hope you like it and you learn some more things. So guys, have a nice day. Alright guys, now I want to talk about context API, state management with context API, and the use context in order to understand how we are gonna make state management with use context. I'm gonna make a very simple example in order to take an idea. So first of all, let's go and create a file global context.js. We need here a couple of things. We need React. Also, let's bring, we are here, we need the create context, and of course we need the use state from React, of course. Okay, let's continue. First of all, what we want, what does create context? Create context has the ability to bring two important things or object things: the provider and consumer. Okay, so let's define right now, let's say data context equal with create context, right? We want to export it because we are gonna take letter export Okay, right now let's also export a data provider. We are going to provide it in the central app equal. We want to return here a couple of things, so just write the props. So let's return. We need the data context dot. We need the provider. So okay, and here we are gonna make the props dot children. Okay, we want the props which is the value equal, let's say, hello from context. All right, for now just a string. Okay, let's import right now the data provider in the central app, in the central tree. So we need to go and say import. So we are going to use curly brackets because we export. We don't use the default export because we export something as const. So import data provider from global context. Okay, nice. Right now just copy this, cut it. We need the data provided here. Okay, because we want to have access in all app. So maybe guys, let's do something different. I will not put it here. I will put it in the very central. Just cut it. All right, go to index.js. Put it here. I'm gonna put it here. Data provider. Okay, and I've got all the app right now, has all the central app has the data provided. Okay, of course I need to start. I forgot to start it. Npm start. All right, come on, come on. Okay, it's gonna start right now. And here in the central app, right now, let's create here, guys. Let's create a component. I don't need this anymore. I'm gonna put a component global and create it a home.js. Okay. All right. I'm gonna import here the home from home. Let's put here the home. I'm gonna write here home. All right, we got the home. Let's go inside in home and put, I'm gonna put this value, this data that I have here. I'm gonna pass it in the home. First of all, we need to import the data context, of course from global context, okay, and if you go and write const state, for example, we are going to define equal with use. Let's choose the use context, and we want to put here the data context. Okay. Come on. And if we open the console log here, we are going to see and put the state. For example, look what we are looking. We see that we have access now in the global context. We take this, the hello from context. Look, hello from context. If I can just write something else. Okay. Let me see. Let's just reload it. Look, hello from context. Go to home. And you can just put here a state. And look, we got hello from context. Okay, we get the state from here, from the global context, and we got access here. Also, if we want, we can create another component and we can do the same thing. But we don't just want to put this string here. Okay, just close it. Of course, now we have some warning because we don't need this. Delete it. Also, we don't need this. Bye bye. Alright, just let it. Let's put some data here. Const. Let's say name. Let's say person. Set person. Okay, and we need the use state. Okay, we are going to put here, let's put, guys, an array, and we are gonna put some objects here. I'm gonna map in this object. We got the first one is gonna be, let's see, I'm gonna put name here. Okay, name, let's say Nick, and I'm just gonna put the age, let's say 32. Alright, copy this. I'm gonna take one more. I don't want any more. Okay, nice. Okay, we got an array with 2 objects, right? So what I want right now, I want to pass these things here. I can pass it as an object with person, and let's pass it as an array, like it is. We need the person, and let's say set person. All right. Okay, now we want to get access here. Let me see. We got the home. For example, let's write. First of all, we need let me see, log. Let's write the state. Look here. We got these things right now. Okay, look, we got access in these things, in this state. We got 2 objects here. So if I try and make, look right now, state.map, okay, item, let's say div item, I'm just gonna say here h1 item dot name. Nothing is going to appear. Let me see something. State dot name. Look. Of course, we got undefined because we have to define it somewhere. So we have to do these things. This thing. We have to go and say const person. Let's say person equal. Also, let's put the set persons here. Set person equal with state. Okay. And now, if I put here person, let's just close this. Look what we got. We got the initial, the basic array. And right now, go here and just write, let me see, h1, let's say. Of course, here we need to put the person right now. Person dot name. Look, we got, come on. Okay, I can't see the name, the reason. Yes, guys. When we use curly brackets, we have to use the return here. Okay, it's gonna work something like this. Okay, you have to do this thing. Cut and paste. Okay, I usually don't use the return, so let's do these things. Okay, let's do it again. I'm just gonna person dot map. Okay, we need the item, and let's put a div here. All right, we need right now, let's put an h3. Okay, I just want the item dot name. Look, right now we got it, and let's write h3 again. The item dot age. Okay, we got. So you saw, sometimes if you get confused, it was with simple things you get confused sometimes, guys. Okay, so be careful with the curly brackets here. If you use curly brackets, just take it. Alright, just take it. And do this. So this was the way, guys, how to use context API to bring data from global context. I hope you enjoyed it. And of course we can put another thing here. Look, control copy. Let's say, okay, let's see. And here we are. Let's put specific ID, ID 1, okay, and we got all warnings right now because we have to put a specific ID for each data. So just go here in the central and just say key equal with item.id, and we will not see the warning anymore. Okay, that was, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Okay, this was one way of breaking the items in array. If you bring an array, you have to define here a state of a person. So if you want also, you can just do this thing. Okay, alright, you have to put another curly bracket. We are gonna take it as an object. Alright, here. And you don't need to put the person here, just delete it. Of course, here we need right now the state. Let me see, just comment it for a while. Or you know, you have to put state.person. Let me see, and of course we got it. Look here, state.person. Look here, we got all this array. And of course we can get another things. Okay, this is much better, I believe, because you don't have to define here a state. Also you can do, okay, I'm gonna make this, let's define another. Let's say const, let's say item set item equal use state. Okay, what happened right now? Use state. Okay, let's write hello, this is an item. Okay, I want to break this right now. Just go here, we need to bring the item here. Okay, come on, and we put this initial state here. What else? Going home and just let's make log state dot item. Let's see. Look, we got it. In reality, state, guys, is the value. In reality, okay, is the value, and we say value dot person, value dot item, right? You can just put here game, for example, but then you have to write game dot person, game dot item. Okay, let's put state, and let's go right now and take the, I'm gonna put here the, let's put h1, come on, I'm gonna put the state.item, and let's see, and here we are. So this was the simple tutorial. I hope you understood many things, and so guys, see you the next time. Alright guys, it's time talking about some other things. Today we are gonna talk about use reducer and what this thing is and what general this thing does. So let's call here, for example, the beginning, or I had it well, why I deleted. Let's call here use reducer, okay. So go inside here and we need const, let's say state and dispatch equal with use reducer. So we put here reducer and we need an initial state, let's say. So let's right now make an explanation about these things. So use reducer, guys, it's a hook which is suitable for state management. So first of all, we declare the use reducer here, as we can see, and now use reducer takes two parameters, the reducer and the initial state. The reducer here, it's a function, and generally it holds the loading, it keeps the loading of uploading every time. And the initial state is, as the word said, the initial state. So use reducer returns a pair of values. Also here we can see this is the state, the current state, and this is the dispatch is like set state. It's the way to update the state, to trigger the state. Okay, let's initialize. Right now I'm gonna put here const initial state. I'm gonna do equal with 0. I'm gonna try and make a very simple counter. And after this I'm gonna create, right now I'm gonna create the reducer. So let's write function or euro. Let's make it with fat const reducer equal. Alright, so reducer, as we know, takes the state, the initial state, and also needs an action. So let's try to make some cases. I'm just gonna use the switch. And right now we need it's guys exactly like the, if you have an experience with Redux, exactly the same way with Redux it works. So we need to put here the action, and then let me or you know guys, let's maybe put it here an object. I'm just gonna put, let's say, count. Okay. Okay, initially we got a 0, so here we need to put the type action.type, and then we have to make some cases. The first case is gonna be increment, let's say increase we want to return after this. Come on. Here the count is gonna be, we want the state dot count of the previous state dot count. We want to count it plus 1. Also we need to make another case right now. Case, let's call it decrease. I don't know, want this here. So decrease, we want to return state. No, this not state. We want to return the count is gonna be state, come on, dot count minus 1 is gonna count minus 1 if it sees the decrease. The case is gonna be decrease. This is a reducer like exactly in React Redux. So we got it here. Of course here let's see as initial, let's name it h4. We are going, before doing something here guys, let's open npm start. I forgot to begin the initial React server. Okay, we got initial React server. Also, we could initialize directly here the initial state. We just could put this inside here, so it could be the same thing. So let's try right now to bring this data here. First of all, I'm just gonna create a button. Let's say increase. I'm gonna copy this, decrease, let's just put capital. I'm just gonna put here, let's put h4. Okay, we want the initial state is gonna be let me see. It's here. Okay, we want the count. State.count, mistake of me, sorry about this. State.count. Alright, okay, I don't care about this right now, or you know, maybe just try to fix it. Okay, we are here, so we got div, let's go dot up display, let's put a flex. Okay, justify, or you know, align item center, justify content center, just put a margin top of 40 pixels. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it here. Let's put a okay, nothing else. Right now let's go to h4. I'm just gonna put a padding of 0.10 pixels. Alright. Right now, in order to bring functionalities we just defined on click, we want to increase this. So in order to bring this functionality, we have to dispatch. So do you remember that dispatch is like set state? We want to bring the new state. So we have to put here the type, which is gonna be, if you remember, we got the increase. If the type is increase, it's gonna increase. Look here, action.type. If it is increase, we got increase here, and we push the button, it's gonna dispatch, send an action here, and this action is gonna watch this increase and it's gonna take the result. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, so as you can see, we just increased right now. Let's do exactly the same thing about, come on, dispatch about decrease. So we need to put here the type, which is gonna be decrease. Alright, it's gonna watch right now the type. Look, and of course it's something, if something is mistake, it's not gonna work. Type error, state is undefined, because you don't have it. So we have to put the correct. So the best option of not making mistake in this increase and decrease is define it like in a Redux as variable. Right now we just explain a simple, very simple example. This is how works use reducer. The difference about use reducer is that with use state is that use reducer can be used in much more complex when we want to bring many things and different kind of things. And it's a way of state management. So this was the very simple example of use reducer. So let me explain you one more time. Use reducer, guys, brings use reducer hook has two parameters: a reducer, which is a function, and the initial state. Also, it returns a pair of values with the state and the dispatch. Dispatch in reality is like a use state. It's gonna trigger an action, and this is gonna make React renders and brings the new state here. So reducer right now it has a two argument, the state and the action, and with switch we can define some cases, and according to these cases we are going to bring the new state. Also you can use except from switch also the for here, but switch is much more preferable because it's easier to make many comparisons. So and here, guys, now when we push the on click we dispatch an action. We see right now if it's like the set state here, and we put here if the type is increased, then an action is gonna happen and it's gonna bring the situation. Look, we got increase here, so it's gonna bring this situation. So that was the example, the simple example about use reducer. We are gonna see much more things in projects.